Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, July 27th, 2020. We are live, coming to you from our glorious studios in the prairie of the Eden. I'm Jason Matheson. Hope you had a great weekend. Right over there, I know she had a great weekend. Please give it up and do it quietly for the lovely Kendall. Good morning, Kendall.
Quieter.
How are you doing today, Kendall?
I'm fine, Jason. Why are you so loud?
Well, I just wanted to see if you had a headache or anything. You had a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Good.
A couple new bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
But I survived.
You survived.
Yes,
You
I
had a
survived.
little party. You did a good job.
Thank you. Yes, Bachelorette.
Yes.
I was obviously not the Bachelorette.
You hosted it. Yes.
I hosted.
Yeah, we texted. I called you during the weekend.
Yes.
To make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, Real Housewives of Restoration Hardware.
That's what I called them.
Jason
The whole
called us.
group, the Real Housewives of Restoration Hardware. Yeah. It was glorious. It was entertaining.
It was beautiful.
We had a good weekend, and I have we're going to be paying tribute to Regis in just a few minutes, and I believe this is a story that Reg would appreciate because this is the type of thing that he would talk about in his broadcast. So you guys know that I go up to the lake to the in-laws' cabin near Princeton in Cambridge, and we're up there most weekends of the summer. It's where I relax. I love it. I would rather spend time with my mother-in-law than most human beings. And so every time we drive up there on 47, we pass the town of Bradford. And there on the side of the road is the Bradford Roadhouse. It's a local restaurant, bar, popular. I see bikers there along a lot.
Okay.
And we've never been there. You know, we usually go to the Pine Brook and Highway and the usual haunts there that you've heard me talk about on the show. So Colin said to me last week, he goes, we should go to the Roadhouse. We should break the routine. I said, absolutely. So myself, Colin, my mother-in-law, and Aunt Lisa. I love the Aunt Lisa. We decide to go to the Roadhouse. So we drive up there, we walk in, lovely. And everyone's following the rules. There are masks, social distancing, but just a lovely smattering of people. So as you know, we like to play the pull tabs.
You like to play pull tabs?
Shocking. So we sit down, we try to come up with a strategy, and mother-in-law, Mama Haas, goes up to the counter, and there's Cliff and Norm sitting at the bar. The two gentlemen, they look like regulars. And the Cliff looks at my mother-in-law and says, "You're not going to play that box, are you?" And my mother-in-law, being a little sparky, she goes, "That's right, I am. I sure am." And he goes, "Oh, I just sank $300 in that box. I don't think you want to play it." She goes, "Well, I'm going to. Thanks for picking the losers out of it." So we laugh, So we pick the pull. We get $60 in tabs.
Yep.
We sit down. And again, remember, this is our first time in this establishment ever. Click, click, click. $300 right off the top. We got a 200 and then we got a 100. So we go back up there and we're like, he's going to kill us. This guy's been sitting there and he's a local and a regular.
Yeah.
And he's been sitting there pulling in it's $300. We just sit down and we win 3 times.
Right.
So we go up there and we're laughing with him and he goes, I said, "Well, I'm going to buy you a drink," because he starts jokingly telling us, "You're lucky, da-da-da." So we sit there another 45 minutes. We get ready to leave. We get a very nice man named Kyle who watches our show, says hi to us. I buy them a drink. We get ready to leave. My mother-in-law goes, "The meat raffle's starting." And I said, "Well, we can't miss the meat raffle." So Colin and I go back in. Mama Haas and Aunt Lisa, they're going out for a smoke. So Colin and I are waiting in there. They're going out for a smoke. Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
They're going out for smoke. So Colin and I go back in there. And they're not, Lisa and Mama Haas aren't Cheech and Chong. I shouldn't have gone like that. But anyway, that's a different show. Different relatives, actually. Different side of the family, actually. Anyway, so Cheech and Chong are outside smoking. And then Colin and I go back inside, and she gives us $6. So Trixie, the meat raffle woman, comes over to us, and we're like, "We'll do 6. Colin picks the things. And we're sitting there, and Trixie spins the wheel, and she goes, 22 for the free drink and 23 for the meat." We had them both.
You brats.
So I said, "I'm the winner." And this lovely woman sitting at the bar starts leading a chant of, "Get out! Get out!" The entire bar starts yelling at us to get out. This lovely woman, and I'm identifying her because I think she's watching, she had a camo outfit on and a camo Trump 2020 hat. She's sitting there and she goes, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" So we're leaving in shame. I felt like that scene from Game of Thrones with the bell, the shame bell. They were all joking, but we ran out of there, and I ran out of there and with the meat in my chest, and I go, "Start the car! Start the car! They're gonna beat us up!" So to the good folks at the Roadhouse, I'm very sorry, but your establishment is lovely, and we will be back. Thank you very much. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Again, not this.
Yeah,
yes.
pretty clear.
As I mentioned a few minutes ago, sad news in the world of TV. Regis Philbin died over the weekend. The longtime host of Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, and then later Regis and Kelly Lee, was a fixture on American TV. He was also the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which became a huge hit starting in 1999 and was replicated all over the world. He got his start, if you don't know, in TV as a page on The Tonight Show back in 1955 and worked his way up. Reg was 88 years old. And I wrote over the weekend, you know me, I'm a TV nerd, so anytime there's a loss like this, I get really sad. I actually woke up from a nap on Saturday before we got run out of the Roadhouse, and I got the news. And it bums me out because Regis was an old school broadcaster, and anybody that does a job like you and I, we owe a tip of the hat to Reg, especially on a show like this. Because for the young people out there, you know, Live with Regis and Kathy Lee started as a local show for several years. And Regis and Kathy Lee didn't even want to go national. They said, look, you know, when Kathy Lee said it on the Today Show this morning, she said, Reg and I didn't want to go national because what happens is the suits come in, the bosses, and they start changing things. They start changing things, and then let's change it to go national. And then they put it out. And Regis and Kathy Lee said, we're only going to go national if you leave the show as it is. And as it was perfect. They had unmatched chemistry. I mean, and the that duo format is duplicated now all across the country. And local morning shows like this, we wouldn't be doing this without Regis. And the secret of Regis, I wrote this as well. Regis, during host chat, could make you care about where he went for dinner the night before. He could make you care about Notre Dame, even if you didn't like Notre Dame. He could make you care about Gelman. That's not everybody can do that. The great ones make stuff like this look easy. Regis made all of that easy. I mean, it's not. It's
no.
Being Regis and being spontaneous, he was a master at it.
He was. I think that hit it, like the spontaneity, the fact that he could just roll anything off, and he never really slipped. No. You know, he never said anything that you were like, oh, what did he just say? At least that I can remember. No. It was always just funny.
Well, and he knew the audience, and he liked the spontaneity. I'm glad you used that word. You know, he had a rule. I call it the Regis rule. He and Kelly Lee and Kathy Lee would never speak. He wouldn't let them. He wouldn't let the two talk.
Really?
Because he wanted everything out on the set. When the camera came on, he didn't want anything already said. He wanted it fresh for the audience, which I think works really well for a show like this. Well, one of Regis's biggest fans was another icon that I love, David Letterman. Regis was a guest on The Late Show. Literally, he holds the record. I think it was 157 times. And the appearances were always memorable. Look at this.
So Bing turns to me, and I couldn't believe it. That close to Bing Crosby.
Singing right there in your face.
He sings, Tora-lora-lora. Bishop doesn't have I said, thank God, it was beautiful. Bishop finally says to him, Regis, you should really sing one of Bing's songs to him.
Oh, my God. Well, now...
I was sick. Yeah. I was sick. Yeah. Johnny Mann said, what did he say? And, you know, they started playing, just like this guy over here. And they started playing the band. So Bing Crosby looks at me. Every time it rains, it rains.
Oh, so you sing right back?
And he's from heaven. The whole bloody song. Yeah. Crosby jumped in, boo, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. It was the thrill of my life. Yeah. The next day, are you listening to me?
Yes! For the love of God, what do I have to do? You want me to sit in your lap? I'm listening to you.
See, and this is why it's great. I could watch these all day. And you know why this worked? Because Dave was the curmudgeon. And the reason it worked is you knew there was mutual respect and admiration. Because you knew that Dave loved Regis and most importantly respected him. And on that, following his death, Letterman said, Regis is in the same category as Carson. He was on our show a million times, always the best guest, charming, lovable, and could take a punch. When he retired, I love this line, when he retired, I lost interest in television. I love him. That's a great line. That was, yeah.
It's very moving.
As we mentioned, Regis was the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was appointment TV starting in 1999, and especially this iconic moment. Look.
Hi, Regis Philbin here from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Hi.
We've got your son John with us right now. He's doing pretty well.
Good.
He's won $500,000.
Wow.
And he's going for $1 million. And he needs your help to get there.
Okay.
So, he's going to come on the line, read a question, 4 possible answers. One of them is the right answer. And the next voice you hear will be John's. John, you've got 30 seconds. Starts right now.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
I don't really need your help, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to win the $1 million.
Such a great moment. Moments later, he gave the answer, which was Richard Nixon, and John Carpenter became the first person on the show to win that $1 million. Such a good, now recognized as one of the biggest moments in game shows ever.
That was so great.
Yeah.
I loved that show, and like the call-in, it was so genuine. Am I misremembering this? But sometimes people wouldn't answer.
Yeah, they wouldn't answer the call. Yeah.
Like it really was so real.
Kelly, you know, earlier I said it to our producers. I said it on the radio too. You know, Kelly Ripa's statement yesterday on Instagram, it was just a joint statement with Ryan Seacrest. And I go, oh, goodness, I hope the rumors of a little friction, it didn't ruin this. But no, right before we came on the air, I was in the dressing room here and I watched, they're live today. I watched Kelly and Ryan's tribute to Regis, knocked it out of the park. It was heartfelt. You could tell Kelly was very moved. Ryan, they did a wonderful, wonderful tribute. And as they should. That broadcast wouldn't exist without Reg. It wouldn't be the franchise that it is without Regis. And they paid proper respect to him. Kathy Lee was really good, too, on the Today Show. She had me crying. Love the Kathy Lee. Well, still ahead, everybody. Drama with another Real Housewives franchise. Could the OG of Atlanta be on the way out? And then one of our OGs, Stephanie Hansen, will join us with some of her favorite Minnesota makers. Great show. Go get another cup of coffee. We'll be back after this, everyone.
You know who works out at my gym? Regis Philbin.
Of course I remember the place. It was the best burger I ever had. I still have dreams about this burger. Beautiful, haunting dreams. I wake up at night screaming, "Get out of my head, burger! Get out!"
That's the one, Mr. Philbin. Do you remember where it is?
No, I never wrote it down. But not a day goes by that I don't regret it. Why? Why, do you know where it is? Huh? And if you tell me it's at the Corner Bistro, I'm gonna smack you right in the face.
No, we don't know where it is.
Listen, Blondie, don't mess with me. Daddy needs his meat.
I don't know where it is, Regis, I swear.
What about you, Lurch? And what about you, Satchel Mouth? This is my cell. You find that burger. You call me day or night.
Okay, Regis, we will. All
right, so what are you waiting for? Get out and find the burger.
All right.
Let's go.
Welcome back. Regis making a cameo on How I Met Your Mother, that episode back in 2008. Well, you know, on Mondays we get a special serving hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Please give it up for our good friend Brad from TMZ. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good. You know, we just talked about the passing of Regis. Another passing in Hollywood, the last remaining star of Gone with the Wind, right?
That's right. Olivia De Havilland. She was 104 years old, Jason, passed over the weekend. And when you talk about old Hollywood and kind of the glitz and glam, I mean, she was the definition. Not only was she in Gone with the Wind, of course, the movie that's kind of gotten some buzz again recently because of that whole thing with HBO, how they added some context to the film now. But also because she was in Robin Hood. She won a couple Oscars for other roles. And just last year, when she turned 103, there was actually a really awesome photo of her out recreating an old photo of her riding a bike. So, I mean, she lived in Paris the remaining years of her life and just kind of enjoyed it. And like I said, I mean, she is true Hollywood history.
Without a doubt. Let's move to music now. Kanye West went to the hospital for anxiety, but didn't make it all the way. What happened?
Right, really bizarre turn of events Saturday. Kanye has been at his ranch in Wyoming, and at first he apologized to his wife Kim on Twitter. Of course, he's made some cheating accusations recently, said he wanted a divorce, so he apologized to Kim, and about an hour or so later, we get photos of him showing up at an emergency room out there. Kanye only stayed at the emergency room for about 10 minutes. Then he went back home, but when he went back home, he was greeted by an ambulance. We're told paramedics checked him out. Like you said, it was something anxiety related. They left Kanye home, and everything seems to be okay at this point.
Yeah, it's just one headline after another, and honestly, I wonder if this marriage is going to survive. It seems, I don't know.
That's the big question, Jason, and anytime you take something very public on Twitter, it gets messy, and that's kind of what we've seen happen.
Finally, rapper Post Malone has a new business idea. And a lot of college kids like it. What's he doing?
That's for sure. So if you know anything about Post Malone, he likes to have a good time. I mean, he's a super talented musician, but he's also kind of been able to strike some interesting endorsement deals. He has a massive one with Bud Light, and that kind of goes hand in hand with a new trademark he's filed. He's trying to lock down the trademark rights for a World Beer Pong tournament. Of course, it's going to be just like any other sport league with his plans. He wants to have tournaments. He wants this to be televised and something to really take off. So, of course, a lot of work that still needs to be done, but getting the trademark locked down is the first step.
Well, you know, you can't laugh at it. I mean,
it's smart. A lot of people know how to play, and like you said, that college market's right there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad, thank you so much. Have a good week.
Thanks, Jason. You too.
Thank you. TMZ.com or TMZ on TV. I remember going to Wrigleyville for the Cubs home opener about 4 years ago. So at that point, well, how old am I? I'm 45. I'm asking you.
You're 45.
I'm 45. So I would have been like 40, 41. I have never played beer pong in my life.
What?
Just never, ever. Oh, executive producer Jeff, never either. Never played it in my life.
This is a segment.
No, I'm serious. I've never played it. And so I'm 40.
Yeah.
We go to Wrigleyville for the home opener, which if you've ever been in Chicago for the,
chaos.
It's chaos, all capital letters. So I go there and I played beer pong for the first time. Won.
You won?
Oh, just like smashed the other team.
I don't mean to sound so surprised, but are you sure you won?
I'm positive I won. Hey, no laughing at that, crew. No, no, I'm positive I won.
Good. I feel like we could do a segment of this.
Well,
and
I
you could
loved
teach
it.
us all your skills.
And I loved it because the two guys that we played against, these big, brawny, you know, these like frat guys.
Yeah.
And then here's Colin and I, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. And we won. So we're jumping up and down like we just won RuPaul's Drag Race, you know, in the middle of this bar. But yeah, it's pretty funny. More hot dish for you this morning. Could the real OG of the Real Housewives of Atlanta be on the way out? Well, fans of Atlanta are really concerned that Nene Leakes, bloop, could be the next housewife cut from the franchise. Now, she's been in talks with Bravo for a while now, but her return still seems to be up in the air. The network has signed 2 women in their early 30s and may be looking for a younger crowd to kind of spice up the franchise. Nene has been on the show basically. She left a while, but she still made appearances for all 12 seasons. Here's what I'll say. I have a love up and down relationship with Nene. And this is the way it is with most housewives. I like her sometimes. In other seasons, she drives me nuts. I don't know if it would be a smart move to leave this franchise because it is the straw that stirs her drink as far as all of her other businesses. And I don't know if she would still have the success without the franchise. Some housewives need it and some do not. I wonder about Nene. Now, she does allegedly have a deal with E! for another show, but I don't know.
Most of them have needed it. I can only really think of 2 that have gone off and really done well in spinoffs. There's Kim,
Zolciak.
and then Bethany. Yeah, that's really it. The rest of them have left, and they kind of just do this.
Yeah, Bethany came back, but has left again, and she'll never be back again.
Right.
And Skinny Girl, the brand, doesn't really need housewives anymore.
No, I don't even really associate them together.
No,
if that
not
makes
anymore.
Sense.
Well, speaking of the Real, by the way, her HSN line, have you ever had Bethany jeans? Sold out within minutes.
She has jeans?
She has jeans. She has skinny girl jeans. Yeah. And this camo jacket. All of like female friends were loving this jacket. I don't know. I don't watch HSN, but I'm just saying.
I didn't even. So it's HSN still? Is
Yeah.
it something else now?
No, it's HSN, I believe. Yeah. Speaking of the Real Housewives, there is reportedly a new woman on the Real Housewives of Orange County, Elizabeth Vargas. And as producer Ted said, not the 2020 anchor. Elizabeth Vargas is the newest cast member, and it's already causing confusion with the tabloids because, like Ted said, some are saying the 57-year-old network news anchor is the newest addition of the cast, but in reality, the real Elizabeth Vargas is the founder and CEO of Edge Music Network and good friends with current housewife Kelly Dodd. Now, early reports suggest that she's not getting along with the other women. This is the one franchise of Real Housewives I've never watched, ever.
Really?
Yes, and it's the OG. It's the original Never watched it, and now I never will because there's been like 800 seasons. Oh, I almost fell.
Oh, not again,
seasons,
Jason.
I know.
Don't lose the chair again.
It's whatever. It'll be a good moment on YouTube. But no, but I've never watched it. Have you?
I used to actually only watch Orange County and New Jersey. And I started watching Atlanta, and then I got DC, and then I just stopped. You know me, I just stopped watching.
DC lasted 1 year. That was horrible.
Yeah, they were way too nice.
Yeah, they just weren't interesting.
No,
they weren't interesting.
No, so she's not getting along with anyone, so it'll probably be great.
Yeah. Speaking of Orange County, one of the stars, Shannon, and her 3 kids have tested positive for coronavirus. She said this picture was taken pre-pandemic. The Real Housewives of OC had been in production for a while, but said they were wearing masks and staying socially distant. She is staying home and self-isolating with her kids, and so far seems to be doing okay. See, that's the thing. I just wonder, like we just saw a baseball team is now, as these shows go back into production,
right?
What's going to happen? Even if you do socially distance, you're kind of rolling the dice there.
And they all say they have a plan, but as we saw, like you're saying with the MLB with the Marlins, they're kind of like, we're just canceled for right now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's not really a plan.
Is it the Marlins? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking over here, kind of tell you my favorite thing. Producer Jeff is off camera eating his cherries. It's just like, do you have enough for the rest of the class over there? No?
He looks a little
perturbed that I'm pointing out that he has. It's all right. This is because, you know what? I always want to elicit this from him. Don't say that. Next in the dish, pour one out for Oprah's magazine. Hearst Magazine's announced they will end printing the magazine at the end of the year and instead focus on digital. The Oprah magazine has been around for 20 years. It had a print audience of 10 million. Now, the news comes as the president of Hearst magazine resigned following reports in the New York Times of a toxic work environment. Hearst also owns Good Housekeeping, Harper's Bazaar, and Elle. Ooh. Yeah, I have the very first issue of the Oprah magazine.
You do? Is it laminated?
No, I have 3 copies. I bought 3. One I actually read. One I keep preserved, and the other is just in case those 2 burn.
That's
you know what I mean? Yeah, I have 3. I have a backup for the backup. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do. Wow. Does it surprise anybody? I mean, no.
Literally no.
And I used to buy every single issue, but when I moved a couple times, do you know how heavy magazines are to move? Yeah, when you have like hundreds of magazines in a box.
Oh God, why do you keep them all? You're never going to go back through it.
You're absolutely right. That's why I got rid of them. I had a giant Oprah bonfire, and I just burned them all. I did.
No wonder she doesn't want to come on the show. You had a giant Oprah bonfire.
Well, no, I used it as the base. I broke up with somebody, and I used it to like burn photos of the person in like a ceremony, getting rid of their aura. It was the person that I dated that was fake British. It was.
I forgot about the fake Brit.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I burned all photos. I brought a priest in. I saged myself. Got rid of all the.
All the
I
things.
don't even know what this is.
Little
but anyway.
Madonna.
Still ahead, everybody. Kendall heads to an old spot in St. Paul that is about to reveal its brand new look and new name. And then speaking of food, Stephanie Hansen gives us some of her favorite Minnesota makers. Stay right there, everyone. We'll be back after these words. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Well, it has been 7 months since fans of the Happy Gnome enjoyed their last beer at the St. Paul landmark, but now there's a new gnome in town. If the audience is here, they might laugh at that. It's very quiet, though. The Gnome is opening next week at the side of the old restaurant, and Kendall is giving all of you a very first look. Check it out.
My impression of the tiki bartender. Hello, welcome to the Gnome. What can I get you? I think they'll talk like that, right?
I think they will, yeah. We're actually going to have gnomes back there bartending, so it'll be great. Yeah.
So they'll pop up just
They'll pop up, yeah. There's a subculture of gnomes, and I keep getting people that reaching out to me going, can we come? Can we show up?
Yeah, a subculture of gnomes?
They literally want to show up here and be a part of it. So I think we're going to have to do it. It's just, how do you say no to that?
How do you say no to a gnome? This is like one of the biggest outdoor spaces in St. Paul?
I think it is the new biggest deck in St. Paul. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we could open safely, so we figured we would spend a lot of time and effort out here.
What is it like opening this place in the middle of a pandemic?
Super scary. I mean, we built this patio for that reason, and we're going to open patio only. So the inside will be like this great secret for a little while. People can go in to do a tour and we'll take folks in, but we're going to open patio only, just with staff and even the guests. Most people feel much safer outside, so that's what we're going to
so you mentioned secretive indoors instead of the outdoors at first.
Yeah, we'll give you a secret tour right now and bring you inside.
That's where I was going with that. I want to look around. This is really cool. So this will be open to everyone? Or
yeah, you can come up here and play games and free shuffleboard, free pool. Yeah.
Oh, look at the ceilings.
We open this all up and then you can look up, there's a big neon bell up there.
What an undertaking. Did you feel kind of crazy when you decided you were going to do this?
There were some days I think my wife and I literally sat in here and cried because you didn't, it's a 140-year-old building, so every wall you opened has a new...
It's like a mystery
of from plumbing to electrical, and it felt pretty daunting.
What are some of your favorite things that you've brought in here to the new Gnome?
I think some of the stuff was here. We just had to discover it. So these old lights that are 120, 130 years old, that were old gas lights, we had to get electricity ran to them and get them working again. So that was really, really cool. This floor up here had 7 layers of carpet and tile and all of that, so we added another layer. We put a basketball court down.
You guys, you and your wife started a really cool program where you give back to the community, a lot of the funds from your restaurant.
So when we opened Hope Breakfast Bar in September of 2019, this was before COVID, this was really before everything. We just wanted to give back, and we didn't know how we could do it. So I think my first experience, I walked into the Children's Hospital and we just started looking for a family to give money to. They said, you can't do that. You literally walked in, I'm like, we gotta help somebody today. We were new to this. We just knew that we wanted to be impactful in the community. So it just kind of all grew, and then COVID hit, and a couple days before COVID hit, we had shut down and said, we'll serve any family in need, and it went from a couple hundred to 10,000 a week, and over 70,000 people we've given free meals to so far. So, and the community has rallied behind us so much as well, and we've gotten donations that just really keep helping us to keep doing it. We'd have ran out of money 10 days into this. So amazing. So it's been amazing. 3% of everything that we do in sales goes directly back to that. Then we do every month, we give 100%. We do special events, special spaces, Shine Bright, all of those. We give 100% of all those proceeds. We know with George Floyd and all the stuff that has happened, our goal is going to be, we know some local restaurateurs of color that really could use a hand right now, and frankly could use a hand getting their business back. So we're going to do a big fundraiser, and our goal is to put a Black-owned business 100% back in business with no debt, no anything. You can go on to hopebreakfast.com, and there's a link for that. So anytime you want to kind of go in and learn more about what we're doing, we think everything good starts with a meal. So that's what we're doing.
Good people there at Hope Breakfast, and good people. Just our buddy Justin Sutherland involved in that project as well.
Yeah, he was so awesome. So yes, Justin Sutherland, big part of the kitchen there at the Gnome now, and the whole place was just so cool. It has a very old St. Paul, old Chicago with tiki bar vibe. Yeah, I love it.
It's an institution. Our buddy Todd Walker lives in that neighborhood. He scooters over. He has a little scooter, he scooters over there, and that is just that restaurant meant so much to that community. They were really bummed when the Happy Gnome went down. Would you like a Jason Show fun fact about the Happy Gnome?
Please, I love them.
And all of you that have been with us for a while, remember producer Carl? He was a Ted before Ted.
Yep.
Carl worked there as a dancer for, not a dancer, but he worked there as a server.
I was like,
not a dancer.
I thought the Happy Gnome was a bar. I know it had a side business.
Tyler, can we scratch that can we rewind this? This is in the file. No, he wasn't a dancer. He was a cocktail server.
I prefer him as a dancer cocktail server.
No, you really wouldn't actually. No. We got to send this to Carl. Carl's very fancy. He doesn't need us anymore. Carl works for he works for MSNBC. Yeah.
Oh.
That's right. He's very fancy.
Oh, fancy.
The Gnome opens for business next Tuesday, August 4th. Coming up in just a little bit, we're back with Stephanie Hansen. She loves the Gnome right after this. She wasn't a dancer there either. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a good morning. Well, you may have heard about some of the great makers here in Minnesota, what they are, who they are, and where you can find their products. And here with her picks for some of the best Minnesota makers is the host of Weekly Dish on My Talk 107.1, our dear friend, look at her there in her beautiful kitchen, Stephanie Hansen, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
We just had the segment. You're in that neck of the woods too. I was of the Gnome. We just got an exclusive preview of the Gnome. You're there in that neck of the woods. It means a lot, doesn't it, to that neighborhood?
Yeah, it really does. And they have expanded their patio like almost fourfold, I think. That place was just a real gathering spot for beer drinkers, cider drinkers. They had a ton of crafts on tap and really supported a lot of Minnesota makers. And it was just a great neighborhood spot. I loved going there like after a giant snowfall in the winter because we could walk and have a cheeseburger and a beer. It was pretty great.
You ever see Todd Walker on a scooter? Beep, beep.
Actually, yes, Jason. I just saw him this morning and I was laughing because he's so cute. Just
I know. It's like Mrs. Gulch without the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I also you spoke about Carl earlier and that he was a dancer at the Gnome. I mean, a server.
Yeah.
You know where I was a dancer.
Oh wow, this is fantastic.
It's coming full circle.
Where were you a dancer at, Steph?
I was a dancer at the Heartthrob Cafe in St. Paul. I was a dancing cocktail waitress.
I knew that about you. Oh, this is the best show ever. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Minnesota makers, not only are you a foodie, but you know a lot about Minnesota makers. We want to highlight a few. Let's start with Freak Flag. What is this, Steph?
Okay, there's a guy in town and he was a marketer and he was working, his name's Fred Haberman. He was working on a lot of packaged goods and he was like, hey, I want to create some vegan, organic things and I can test all of the marketing that I've learned on my own products. So he developed a pesto line and he's got a bunch of products, but this is the tomato pesto. This is the kale pesto. And you put it on noodles or rice, or you can rub it on chicken. And it's just super delicious. The pesto is usually made with nuts and cheese. So this doesn't have that in it. So if you're vegan or organic, it's super tasty, but you don't have to have that. And then he's also doing these bone broths that he's just introducing that are going to be showing up at Whole Foods. And bone broth is super good for you, obviously, right? This is a chicken tortilla and this is a coconut chicken broth. And you can use them for cooking and making like rice more flavorful, but also you can just heat them up in a cup and drink them. I'm crazy about bone broth. I drink it every day for lunch. I've lost 10 pounds by just drinking bone broth.
Well, there's an endorsement right there. Sweet Science.
Okay, hold on, because this is going to be funny. Because I forgot.
What is she doing?
A couple.
What is she doing? She's out of control. What is she?
Look at this, Jace.
Okay.
Ice cream sandwiches that I had in the freezer. They're blondies, and inside them is a berry crumble ice cream and a banana ice cream. Look at that salted caramel layer.
Look at that, Steph.
Oh, so good. Sweet Science, she's amazing. She's a friend of mine. She makes the best ice cream. She's got a scoop shop in Keg and Case Market. And with COVID, she decided to make a lot of like single serve treats. And so they're selling these at the market. And honestly, first of all, the ice cream, they're berry crumble, they're salted caramel. Like, I'm a pint eater.
Yeah.
So that's a great pint to get. But these little ice cream sandwiches are fantastic. And they're gluten-free cookies. So, it's not like they're healthy, but they're all wholesome and all natural and make you feel very good.
Sweet science. We have more with Pint Eater when we return. Stay right there, everybody. Back in a moment. Pint Eater. More with Stephanie Pint Eater Hansen with Minnesota Makers. Steph joins us again live from her house somewhere in St. Paul. Okay, so Sweet Science, I will endorse that as well. I love them. And again, I love highlighting good people. She's good people. So go out and buy Sweet Science. Okay, K Mama Sauce.
Okay, Casey Kai, he's also good people. He gives 30% of all of his proceeds back to local charities. And he makes a sauce that's like a gochujang sauce that his mom made in Korea. It's a Korean sauce. It's called K Mama sauce. And there's a mild and a spicy. And it would go on like rice or eggs or to glazed chicken or pork. Some people just use it like ketchup. It is delicious. And you can find it at Target and you can find it online and in local stores. And if you ever get to meet Casey, he's just a great guy.
I think you have it in the foreground there. Some marshmallows. What do we have
here?
Oh,
yeah. North Mallow is a great couple, and they were campers, and they just didn't like the marshmallows that they would be making at camp. So they decided to make a better one. So they have a vanilla bean, they have a chocolate chip, they also have a caramel swirl. And here, I'll open one up so you can see it. They're perfect for like if you're going to be going camping, which get out there and enjoy the great outdoors, people.
Yeah, come on, Steph. Have
I
you
mean,
met
look
me?
at these. Yeah. They're so cute.
Those are.
Jace, you like the outdoors?
Well, I do.
They're delicious. And they're totally homemade with none of the junk in them. So no high fructose corn syrup. They're awesome.
I think, Hansen, Evan, you've brought those into the studio before, or I think you've given, maybe not on the show, but I've had them, and you're right. I'm not a big marshmallow guy, but I mean, I've looked like one over the years, but I mean, but I do love those.
They're fantastic. And they're if you want to have a little more flavor in your marshmallow when you're doing s'mores. They also they have like a s'more catering business. So they'll bring the s'mores out to you.
Yeah.
Where you can do an event or have a family gathering. They're just really fun, and they're a great couple too.
Talk to me about Golden Fig.
Okay. It's tomato season, and I just didn't feel like I couldn't bring this to your attention. This is a basil balsamic vinaigrette.
Okay.
And it's just vinegar, and it's got basil in it. You can maybe see the little chunks in there. And what you do is, like, tomato slicing season is right upon us, and sliced mozzarella for caprese salads. You just put this on your sliced tomatoes that you get from the farmer's market or the garden. It's ambrosia. It's like the best thing ever. And then speaking of basil, because I'm crazy about it, they also have this basil lemonade. And this is like awesome for a Moscow Mule where you just add some ginger beer, or you can make like just effervescent kind of, everybody likes the bootlegger.
Yeah.
It's kind of a take on that where you add a little club soda and maybe some vodka, maybe some gin, or maybe some rum.
Okay, Hansen, I think people think of you as, a fancy foodie girl. You know, that's people, she's very fancy. She talks about, I want you to unplug and show me the most surprising thing in your refrigerator right now.
Oh my gosh.
Go get something out of your refrigerator. I want something.
It's so empty. I'm going to just see if we can.
Yeah. Show me something crazy.
The most surprising thing would probably be that there's some wine left in this bottle, because normally it would be empty. And let's see.
How about your freezer? Your freezer.
Bone broth for my dog. That's pretty surprising. I literally hardly have any food in here, Jason.
How about your freezer? Is there any duck or anything crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
that gets a lot more interesting. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, look how full it is.
Oh my goodness.
And this is like, I've been eating it down. Look at how much broth and soup I have in there. I literally have like 12 quarts of soup.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I have a soup problem and a freezer problem, and I have another freezer in the basement.
Oh, well, then what's in the freezer in the basement?
Like more soup, meat. I bought a half a pig, so I've been eating that down because I was pandemic prepared.
I know. I have to give Hanson credit where credit's due. At the beginning of January, when we were just hearing whispers about this pandemic, I had a lovely meal with Hanson. And she was like, girl, I went to Costco. I bought 80 pounds of pasta. I bought half a pig. I bought a giraffe. I bought wood. And we all made.
I had yeast. I had liquor. Yeah. I had bandages. I had masks. I had everything.
She had cans of gasoline. And I said, and we all made fun of you. And now who's laughing, right, Hanson? Now who's laughing?
I am laughing all the way to my very stocked full freezer. My husband likes meat. A meal is not a meal if there's not meat with the meal for him.
Yeah.
So even if I'm making soup, I have to have cheese or bread or something that's more, because it can't just be soup.
Well, thanks for playing our brand new game, What's in Your Freezer? It's Stephanie Hanson, everyone. Catch Stephanie on The Weekly Dish Saturday mornings on My Talk 107.1 and head to her website, stephaniesdish.com. Love you, sweetheart. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Meat. Girl has meat and soup. Welcome back. My buddy Adam on the beautiful jib cam. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Just check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search for Jason Show TV on all of those. And speaking of which, we brought this up last week. Y'all are loving our staff show and tells, where we show something funny from our collection, from our house, from our office. We want you to join the fun. Maybe you have a weird collection. Maybe you have an artifact or something odd that you found at a flea market. We want you to show us your show and tell. You can tell us what it is, take a picture, just send us a direct message on our Jason Show Facebook page. We'll get back to you. We'll send you a Zoom invite, and you could pop up here on the show. In lieu of a studio audience, we just want to stay connected to you. We're going to take a break. Kendall will be back to wrap things up with me right after this. Wrapping things up on this Monday. Kendall's back with me. I told the story at the beginning of the show how I was jokingly kicked out of the Bradford Roadhouse for winning all of the meat and winning all the pull tabs. I got a lovely email from Virginia Richardson. She lives right down the road from the Bradford Roadhouse. She was, it's good to see you. And I'm like, yeah. Please, I'm there every weekend. Yeah, so Virginia, I hope to see you up there.
Yeah, don't steal all their money this time.
I don't know. The luck only happens every so often. Speaking of going places, Kendall not only is my sidekick here, she's the traffic anchor for the Fox 9 Morning News, but she also booked segments for the show. Tell the folks, what have you booked for me? Right, I'm getting ready to change and go. Where am I going?
Well, I thought that you could do a little bit of working out with a horse. Okay. So you're doing not horseback riding, but yoga and bar with a horse.
Yoga and bar? Like a cocktail?
No, like bar, like ballet bar with. I think
with
you hold
a horse?
The horse. I think that's like your bars. It's like
I hold on to the horse.
Yeah.
Is it a full-size horse or like a mini horse? Because I've been begging my mother-in-law for 8 years now to get me a mini pony.
Well, I can make some phone calls, but at this point, I'm assuming a full-on adult-size horse.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I still am confused how I'm going to do yoga with a horse, but I guess we'll figure that out.
I'm confused too, but I'm very excited.
And it's in Hastings. I've never been to Hastings, so I'm excited.
Never been to Hastings. Stop by the VFW. It's fabulous.
Oh, I'll stop in there right after the horse. I'll go to the VFW.
Horse, of course.
That's right. So I'm very excited to do this. I have an outfit ready to go. I don't even know what do you wear when one does yoga with a horse? A suit?
When I booked Ted to play the trapeze artist, we also didn't know what he was going to wear, and he came out with a fantastic outfit. So I'm sure you can find something.
I don't care how long, River. You just made me. I don't care how long or ever this show's on the air. Ted in a trapeze outfit will still be one of the best days of my life. That was one of the best shows ever. We need to find him another circus thing to do, before we go off the air. Tomorrow on the show, local author Gretchen Anthony joins us ahead of the release of her new book. And Christmas in July continues. Mr. Trapeze Ted will join us with his latest Hallmark Christmas movie review. That's tomorrow. But right now, that's going to do it for us. I got to go. I got to go do horse yoga. I don't know. That's going to do it. If you're a kid watching that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.